And all the band and all the band
Especially being
That's sad because that was kind of unique as again. You know, you talk about the mom being.
This is going on Facebook.
Well, we had one guy here on the department that he would give his mother a ticket.
Since when you said the thing has gone away.
no, that's too much. Wait to John. I have one in the car. I'll pass this plate down.
Oh, John, no, keep it reading.
Neighbors, we went on probation and the rest of them back. Motorcycle car. And we come just from the stop sign.
I did that. Roll up. I don't remember that. You see it? Well, you have an interesting idea. Have you talked about the Amazon River, Benefit Cricket, Animal Street, and Native Indians?
We had intramural track day, and this was almost like we were graduation.
Commercial man. Oh, commercial. I was going to put my lights on. So Isabel, where can I find you at?
Are you feeling journalism or what?
I just like to document all the usual suspects.
Okay, no.
Videotaping.
There you go. Wasn't her going in there draining it out. Down here.
Hey, that's pretty cool.
Come on in, and I'll talk to everybody at the same time. Bus drop-off used to come right up through the middle where our new ADA restrooms are now. And this building had fallen into a terrible state of disrepair. It was owned when we bought it by Dan Daniel. I don't know why they didn't do something. Yeah, this is the way to get
another million. They need parking.
So we did a lot of work in here.
The building we're in, y'all know, you remember this, Benziger Red and White store, and then the S&H Cream store, and Strong's Academy, and Pomerantz stores with furniture here sometimes, and just all kinds of things went on in this building. And really, without the Benziger family, we would not have this museum, because they were willing to donate the building if we would turn it into a museum. And so there were a handful of us that we were able to, in 1991, were able to apply for not-for-profit status, and we opened in 1997 with a soft opening, and have been open since 1998 ever since. We've completely restored the building to what Henry Trill had built in the first place in 1898, and this photograph is over there on the wall behind that cabinet with 5 of his children, I believe, and his wife. And Henry, of course, was very active in the community through his engineering efforts and building efforts. And we were able to strip the walls away. We left some of the plaster on the walls to look at the local brick that was made here. The tin up here is all original Victorian era tin. Between the second and the first floor, it's all been reinforced. And now we have been able to initially open the second floor. And we have, to give you an example of, all of these floors are original. We stripped away about 3 layers of tile. And this is loblolly pine downstairs. I think we've replaced about 6 strips. And we have longleaf pine upstairs. And that's all been refinished with the help of Buddy Nozzle and his crew. We've opened the balcony doors if you'd like to go out on the balcony and just get a breath of fresh air and just enjoy. The way that we've arranged this, in our mission statement, we had to determine who we are. And basically, we've got all kinds of heritages here. We're very multi-ethnic, with the Native Americans, with the Spaniards, the Mexicans, Hispanics, the Anglos, the Germans, and the black communities. And we've been blessed to be able to trace our history from literally millions of years ago, starting with the cabinets right behind you over here, dating back to 25 million years ago when we were underwater. Thanks to, many of you will remember probably Dr. Evelyn Strain, geologist at Texas Lutheran College and TLU. And so the first several cases have to do with when we were underwater. All of those artifacts came from here. The last ice age, the warming, the mastodon teeth, the tusks, and so forth, the palms, petrified palms, to the early Native American collections, which are all here. And the McKee site we're most excited about because it's the second oldest archaeological site in the state of Texas. And it was discovered by Floyd and Jody behind the old Saffold house. You remember that, just across the bridge heading southward. And we have almost all of their collection at the end of the building here. And we have kind of a chronological display of what Seguin was downstairs over here. And then as you get into this part, Marty, where are you? We stole some of your Texas theater there, but this was before the renovation took place. And we've got this independent exhibits there, and then you can go up the stairs if you would like. And we're moving into that. We have a Leon Studio collection up there, having worked very closely with Nelda and Leon for many years. And we have their entire collection, which includes Henry Weiss, the Ballard collection, and a number of others. And we've applied for grants from the Smithsonian Institute. They've not denied us after 6 months, so we think that we're looking good for the preservation of and digitizing of all the negatives, of which there are several 100,000, and all the photographs and all of the registers, so that we have this for posterity. It was originally going to the Barker Center, but when I heard of that, I got down on my knees to Nelda and Leon, asked them, please let it stay here. And they were so gracious, and they understood, and I can't emphasize that the example that just gives me chills on thinking about it, but the 98 and the 2001 floods, and how many families came here after losing all of their photographs, their anniversary pictures, their wedding pictures, their baptism, we were able to locate everyone and reproduce them for the family. And that's what hometown photography is about. And we're able to continue this through Stanley Nauman today. He's picked up where Nelda and Leon left off, and so we've got late 19th century, all of the 20th century, and going well into the 21st century for Seguin and Guadalupe County. So just make yourself at home, enjoy. Restrooms are through the curtains back here, but we also have men and women upstairs, and water fountain over here. So, welcome and happy reunion.
Thank you.
Because everybody abused, we're always really good.
Surprised how good they're going to look together. Well, the floods have pretty well removed the landscaping that Robert H. Hugman provided, but he did do the bathhouse building itself. Now, people will remember the swimming pool. Alas, it's gone with the wind, and here, 1890, maybe 95 or something. About 10 years after Edison put electricity in New York City, Seguin had electricity thanks to Henry Trell.
School yesterday, you know, remembering, you know, some of the things. I found out something yesterday that I didn't know. The high school actually has a library. I don't think I was ever in that, but it does. And for y'all that were there, you know, a lot of improvements, great memories. So that was kind of fun. I welcome you. I hope that everybody is having fun. I especially welcome the spouses. I know that sometimes that's not a very pleasant experience, coming to your spouse's reunion and having to put up with people that you've never seen before and putting up with their jokes and stories, and that's sometimes a little boring. So I welcome you especially. I really especially welcome the people that have come from out of state. I mean, there's some people that actually traveled a long distance for this, and again, really appreciate that, and hope that y'all have a good time. I know that there are some that hope to be here, and the traveling was just a little too much for them, so you know they couldn't make it, and we need to think about them because they really wanted to be here. But for y'all that spent a lot of time on planes coming here and the expense of coming here, gosh, we sure really appreciate it. One of the things that when Larry sent out the original correspondence about we were going to have a class reunion, the 50th class reunion, almost a year ago, we got together and talked about it. And one of the things that we wanted to make sure was that expense was never an issue. And Larry would hate me for even mentioning this. Well, we wanted to make sure that expense was not an issue. We do have, however, we have a basket over at the registration table that if you want to make a donation, you know, feel comfortable in doing that. We're not asking for it. If you want to put something in it, great. That's the last you'll hear of that. Okay? All right. We're going to. I'm sorry.
Yes, you are.
Where did you come from? Dickie and I have been charged with the MCs, and we're going to try to just do a little entertaining. We'll apologize up front. At least I will. I don't think Dickie has ever apologized, but for anything, including some incidents in junior high school. But we won't go there. Don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings.
You weren't even there.
Yeah, I know. I was there at that time. But don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings. I hope you all have a good time. One of the things that Larry and I talked about early on is that everybody was comfortable, everybody would have a good time. We wanted to make sure that if you came, you enjoyed it, got to reminisce with friends, and had a good time, not only last night, but tonight, and just really enjoyed the company of classmates. And just kind of summarize a little bit about the way I feel about high school people is on the back of the trivia booklet. There's a thing that kind of explains it from high school. You know, all of the pretense when you get back together, I mean, they all go away. Everybody reverts back to the same personalities that they were, the same voices, and it's a good thing. You don't see that, I mean, because I knew how he grew up. But it's okay because I accept that and I know who he is. I don't like him, but I accept that. But so anyway,
this is hurting.
Oh no, it's going to get worse. But from high school, you know the people and you know who they are. And gosh, getting back together, I know I've renewed a lot of old friendships. So it's fun. And hopefully everybody here will have a good time. Okay? That's the main objective. Have a good time. All right. We're going to reminisce a little bit. All right? First of all, regardless of what Jim Botting says, there was actually 152 people, 152 classmates on our graduation list. All right? I'm going to be the official person on that, 152. I counted them. That's how many were on the graduation roll. Out of those 152, about 14 have passed away. There's about 12 or so that I couldn't find any place, and I really tried. And some of y'all who never wants to hear or see an email from me again, I bugged y'all quite a bit.
Raise your hand.
Yes, just raise your hand. Yeah, I tried to get a hold of just about everybody. So when you narrow down the people that have passed away and the people that don't exist anymore, there was about 125 people. There are a little over 70 people that have responded that they were going to come to either last night or today. So that's half. That's more than half. 125, 7. Where's J.P. Day? Wasn't he a math teacher? That's half, isn't it? Yeah, pretty close. Okay, but that's a pretty good number for people that are coming to a reunion after 50 years. All right. There's going to be a little gray-headed man going around taking pictures tonight. Len Glenwinkle is our photographer. Okay, some stats, and I'm not going to give away prizes. I'm not going. Oh, come on in.
It's Joe Rogers, band director.
Okay, since Joe interrupted my speech here, I'm going to recognize Joe Rogers, one of our teachers. J.P. Day, is that your wife, Doc? Fantastic. They're back there, and they were junior high teachers? Okay. And then James Ulbrich, where's he? Oh, there he is. Okay. He was in high school with us. I think that's the only teachers that are here. Okay. Who? Oh, Don Becker. Where's he? Oh, there, okay. It's good to have you all here. And just a moment. I don't want to get mushy on this, and I just want to make a comment that if it weren't for teachers like you and many other ones that were in the classrooms day after day, year after year that we went to, trying to mold us into some decent citizens, you guys have done a great job. If you take a look around, this is a pretty good class. And, you know, I say that because I was in it, honestly. Yeah. Actually, compared to some of the other ones that I won't mention, this is a pretty good class. And really appreciate teachers that have helped us along the way and have guided us and molded us into what we are today. So really thank you. And let's give one more applause for them. Okay, now on to some fun stuff. Going back to the 152 people, take away 25, you got 125. Just some stats. There's 93 of us that have been married at one time. 93%, excuse me. 83% of us have had kids. 71% have had grandkids. 11% have had great-grandkids. And there's a young lady that was over here. I don't see her anymore. She is one of the grandkids. Oh, there she is. She's way in the back. She's one of the grandkids. That's Elizabeth Zuber's granddaughter. Fantastic that she came out and helped us. About 50% of the people are officially retired. How many people do you think have doctoral degrees? Not medical degrees, but PhDs? Four. Damn, you're good. Four people have actually got PhDs. 70% of us went to college. 35% were in the military. And how many boys do you think were in the classes, or class versus girls? There was 82 boys and 70 girls. So I do a lot of research. I'm sorry.
And most of the boys had flat tops too, Robert.
I'm sorry.
Most of the boys had flat tops.
All right, we're going to move on. We're going to take a flashback to 1962. Bear with us for a second, and then we'll get into more interesting things. But some of the headlines for 1962: Kennedy orders blockade of Cuba to prevent the missile crisis. John Glenn, first American to orbit the Earth. 3 revolutions. Marilyn Monroe died. God, there is the tragedy. Marilyn Monroe died of an overdose. And Gary Power was traded for a spy master back in 1962. The news, My Fair Lady, the longest running musical, closed after 2,700 performances. The Diet Tab made its first appearance. Diet Coke, Tab. And Wilt Chamberlain, 1962, scored 100 points in a basketball game. The economy, President John Kennedy, Vice President Johnson, population, back in 1962, 186 million. It's now, and this is in the U.S., now about 312 million. Life expectancy, 72 or 70 years old, now it's 78. Federal spending, 106 billion, and now it's 3 trillion, almost 4 trillion. Federal debt, 302 billion. Back then it was, gosh, I can't even read the number of zeros on that. It's a lot more. Like 17 trillion, probably even more than that. Cost of a home, $18,000. A new car, gosh, under $3,000 for a new car. Postage stamp, 4 cents. A gallon of gas, 31 cents. And a dozen eggs, 54 cents. Gallon of milk, 49 cents. Some of the things that we experienced back when we were seniors. No, you're not. I'm still. Did I? You can read mine.
Well, thank you, Bob. And thank you so much. By Bob's own admission, he found out yesterday there was actually a library at the high school. So, in the spirit of cooperation between you. Okay, fine. Fine. In spirit of cooperation with the best schools in the state, UT and Texas A&M, I'm giving Bob this cap so he can read. Okay.
There you go, there you go. That's a good old way.
It's all right.
Texas what?
Alumni.
Alumni. Is that a school?
It's a Latin word. It's the third declension. I'm not sure what it is. But anyway, other highlights. Sports. Football. Green Bay. It's really my field, obviously. 16, New York 7. MVP football player was Jim Taylor. College football was USC. You've told me that before.
It didn't do any good, did it?
The top songs: Green Onions, Booker T and the MGs, Duke of Earl, Soldier Boy, Sheila, Tommy Rowe, Peppermint Twist, Johnny D and the Starlighters, Locomotion, Little Eva, Wanderer, Dion, Breaking Up Is Hard to Do, not really, but it's Neil Sedaka, Johnny Angel, and Palisades Park. Movies. Top movie, money movies. Dr. No, 16 million. How the West Was Won, 12. Terrace Bulba, 4 million. State Fair, 3. And Girls, 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 2.6. I missed that one.
It's got Girls Gone Wild. That's the one that you saw.
I produced it. Anyway. In 1960, a new house cost $12,700. 69, it was $15,500. 1960, average income per year was $5,300. 69, it was $8,500. 1960, a gallon gas was 25 cents. 1969 was 35 cents. And the average car of 1960 was 2,600. By 69, it was 3,270. The 70 was the killer. The movies. 62, Birdman of Alcatraz, Days of Wine and Roses, Lawrence of Arabia, which was just on TV the other day, Lolita, hot film.
Those were B movies.
Not the ones I saw. The Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse, which I think they're coming still. The Longest Day, which ended. The Manchurian Candidate, which ended too, and To Kill a Mockingbird, one of my favorites. Academy Awards, Best Actor, Gregory Peck, To Kill a Mockingbird. Best Actress, Anne Bancroft in The Miracle Water.
Worker. Here, just a second.
But she said water.
Just a second. This will help you read.
But this one helps me think.
It's not working. It's not working.
Bob, I wish I had all the hair your dad cut off my head.
You won't find it at my house.
It's got some good DNA in it. Best Director, Lawrence of Arabia, David Lean. Best Picture, Lawrence of Arabia, Sam Spiegel. Best Supporting Actor, Ed Begley in Sweet Bird of Youth. That was a hot film. And Best Supporting Actress was Patty Duke in The Milk Worker. TV shows, Beverly Hillbillies, Candid Camera, Red Skelton, Bonanza, Lucy, Andy Griffin, Ben Casey, Danny Thomas, Dick Van Dyke, Gunsmoke, Dr. Kildare, Jack Benny Program, Yes, Rochester, Watch My Line, and The Ed Sullivan Show, and Hazel. Bob, you're on.
Some fond memories. I'm going to tell you one more time. You need to hold it up like this. It works.
Too technical for me.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I gave you all the unimportant things anyway, so it's okay.
We know where you got them.
We're going to spend a little time just kind of going through and talking about some classmates. What we just went through, I was surprised to be, first of all, to be able to find all of that information, but it's also kind of brought back a lot of memories, and some of those things I hadn't thought about in a long time, the movies, how much a house costs and how much a car costs and all that. It's incredible where we are today. What we want to do is we want to go through and see if we can recognize everybody that's here. But before we do that, Mr. Coach Ray Yerkslaven and his wife just came in. Where are they? Coach, appreciate you being here. Had some good times, had some bad times actually. When you start making us run around the baseball field, that wasn't any fun. But glad that you're here and glad that you have really had an impact on our life. We appreciate that. There's some people here that we just want to kind of go through and kind of make a comment about everybody. And I didn't see Jimmy Price when he came in. Is he here? Well, Jimmy worked for the highway department in the inspection area for most of his life. And he also has built some houses as a result of, I guess, his good wages and income from there. But if you take a look at a lot of the houses that he built, they sure look like they have a lot of highway department gravel and tar and some signs. I mean, I guess it's easy to build those houses when you're working in a maintenance area like that. But sorry that Jimmy can't be here. He was supposed to be here tonight.
Those asphalt roofs are what.
Yeah. And those signs on your walls instead of real wall walls. I mean, kind of take a left to the bathroom. So.
No entry one way.
Yeah, that's right. You're up. You waiting for him to take the picture?
Here it is.
All right.
Oh, I love studying about the American Revolution and the Civil War. Mike Hilbert, he's not here.
Yeah, Mike's not here. Mike was actually taking a trip to California next week and said that he couldn't do both. But I played baseball with Mike a lot, and really sorry that he can't be here. There was a guy who actually when I sent out these slips of information slips originally, he sent back and said, I just don't understand what you want. I don't understand what kind of trivia you want. And I said, my God, Jim Botting. You're the most intelligent person I know. You're the handsomest guy in high school. You're the most athletic. You went to Baylor. You were a stud at Baylor. You went off to Brown University. It took you a few years to get out of school. Yeah. And then after he got out of school, he just kept going to school every day as a research or at someplace, but ended up in California and kept going to school there, even though they was working there. And Jim, I wished I had your problem trying to figure out what to write on that sheet. You're an easy one. You're an easy one. He loves to fly fish too.
He flies fish?
That's kind of an Oriental way of saying fly. It's kind of fried. Fly fish.
Fry fish.
Yeah, fly fish. Even ones are yours, bud. Well, I can find.
I left Seguin in the summer of 1962 and had not returned. I'm a therapeutic and spiritual counselor and master therapist. No, hypnotherapist. You're sleepy. Okay. That's Ray Renee Powell. She's not here either.
Yeah, no, she couldn't make it either. Bobby Ermel and his wife have worked in the, I guess, the military schools for almost their whole career. Bobby spent a few years in Austin working there, and then he went overseas and was working in the defense military schools. One of the things that Bobby put on his list was that he has, I mean, you got to think about this now. Just, I'll pause and actually get Mr. Day again to do the calculation. But Bobby says that he has every issue of National Geographic magazine since 1967 except for 7 issues. Now think about that. Pat, where's Pat? What do you do with those? Yeah.
I keep telling him
Yeah.
No, I've had to fight to keep them.
Well,
Bobby.
I'm with her.
Bobby, you know, if you took them out of the house, it'd rise about 6 feet out of the ground.
That's a lot of magazines. Now, if they were some other magazine, I could understand that. But National Geographic, okay. You probably go back and do a lot of research on those every day. No doubt. Okay.
Avid sports fans, season ticket holder of the University of Texas, have been to College World Series, the Rose Bowl, and many foreign countries, which doesn't include Austin, of course. That's Mary Ellen Garcia Finch. Hook 'em horns.
Yeah, and she has annual or season tickets. That's amazing. And she goes to the World Series, College World Series, the Rose Bowls, and every place they go. Carol Fries, avid bowler for 50 years. And here's something that, you know, how do you keep up with this? How do you even go to the title office as often? You had 49 cars or 48 cars? Good grief. Do you still own all of them?
No. You must be real hard on automobiles.
Yeah.
And 4 boats.
4 boats, yeah. Since 1960. What do you have more than one at one time? I bet your driveway is fun.
That's autoligamy.
Good grief. Yeah. I bet your wife really loves you too, doesn't she?
Okay, the next. I have been a school principal for 20 years and have traveled to every state in the United States. / my new career is a realtor. Imogene Belcher Becker.
Fred John couldn't be here. He was planning on being here, and his doctor told him that he really shouldn't fly. He has a minor problem, and he said he really shouldn't be flying. But Fred has had kind of an amazing career. He is the dean of the Palm Springs campus of the University of California, or California State University. And he's also, I think, a lawyer and has done some remodeling of some mid-century homes. So Fred's been keeping pretty busy.
Next, I enjoy building and fly model airplanes and have donated a kidney to my daughter. That's a courageous act. Lawrence Friesenheim.
I told Lawrence a while ago that he really, really, really makes me mad. He sent me an email, I think on Thursday, saying he wasn't going to be there last night because he's from Brenham. And Brenham has this festival every year about this time, and you could get all-you-could-eat Bluebell ice cream for $6. We should have been in Brenham yesterday. We could have done some damage. You know, Jim Botting, I don't know if you remember this, but Jim was the person selected in our class as most likely to succeed.
Going to school.
Well, just, you know, I don't know what the voting criteria was. I didn't vote for him, so I don't know. But nevertheless, somehow he got voted and voted to be the one that most likely to succeed. Well, there's a lady who we should have recommended because she, I don't know, done a fantastic job in the position that she's in. And somebody probably that we really haven't seen or kept up with that much. And that's Carol Hebner. Her last name is Kaysen now. She is a head of the department at the University of Texas at Arlington in the nursing area. And Dr. Carol has done a fantastic job, got a fantastic position, and really holds an important status there. So, Jim, only if we knew, we could have voted for Carol.
Next.
Yeah. Be careful with this one.
I'm going to be very careful, believe me. I was the only, this is a quote from the author, I was the only person in our class to play 4 sports in high school. And that would be t-ball, dodgeball, crab basketball,
spitball,
and spitball. And also I had a position in the German air defense program. That would be Bob Hager.
Let's hear it. Listen. Another person that I'm real sad that she couldn't be here is Beverly Keel Hoffman. Beverly's mom died not long ago, and she made the trip down and just couldn't do two trips in a shorter period. But if you haven't kept up with Beverly, she is a tremendous cyclist, and also in one example, she cycled for over 140 miles in one trip. So she gets after it. The other thing that she does is canoe, and she canoed down the Panama Canal, which is about a 60-mile trip. So God bless her. You know.
Where does she live?
She lives in, actually, I'm going to say this real quick. Seguin.
No, Washington State.
I'm going to say it again. Seguin. Washington State. Seguin is spelled a little differently than the Seguin that she lives in.
Sequim.
Yeah, but it's close. I always get confused when I say it. I think she's living in Seguin and she's not.
Again, it's a spelling issue.
It's a spelling issue. But she lives in Washington.
That's easy to spell. Okay. Bicycled over every mountain pass in Colorado and have built over 10 miles of trails in the Texas Hill Country. That would be attributed to George Bloom.
Somebody that just came in a little while ago, and gosh, I'm happy to share because I went to grade school with her. Clarice Vetter, Wages. The information that she sent in, and Clarice, I need to borrow some money. She at one time hit the lottery and didn't hit the big one, but got $20,000 out of it. And so, Clarice, when you have a chance, I need to borrow some money.
Clarice, I've missed you. Next, I have attended over 372 football games played by my sons in junior high, high school, and college. Whoa, a lot of popcorn. Carol Cruzy Stotzenberger.
Just a note on Carol. Carol was at El Ranchito last night, and for y'all that were there, Eddie, I just noticed that you're there. Hi. Last night, Carol was there at El Ranchito with her family, and after they left, they took her to a hospital in San Antonio, Northeast Baptist Hospital. Carol has had some problems with cancer, and it has gone to her brain. So we need to keep Carol in our prayers. The hospital, again, if you want to send any kind of good wishes, is Northeast Baptist Hospital in San Antonio. So we need to keep Carol in our prayers and offer good wishes to her. Babs. It wasn't much that Babs sent in, but I think that we all need to really applaud her. She is a 10-year survivor of cancer, and just talking to her last night, she's great shape, still looks great, and happy to have her here. So anyway, Babs, good wishes to you.
Next, I've attended the FBI Academy and have worked with gang war resolutions. James David Garza.
James is here. I thought I saw him on the day. Yeah, James is one of our local finest for many, many years in the police department. So, James, happy to have you here.
You need to get frisked, step over the wall.
Yeah. If you had a speeding ticket in Seguin and didn't pay it, you probably want to stay away from James. David Osborne was a Marine pilot in the Army, and or in the Marines. I'm sorry, y'all don't consider any other services, do you? I'm sorry.
And you went to a military college.
Hoo-ah! And he's traveled to quite a few different countries, and he taught at the high school level. And I'm sure that Marine training probably helped you in your teaching career. Now retired in Kerrville. Good to see you there.
Thanks for the service. The next, I love traveling to Alaska and have served on the Harlandale ISD School Board for 10 years. Victor Resendez.
Is Victor here?
Yeah.
This next person, when I read what she wrote, I said, what? And I'm going to tell you what I thought I read. She said she traveled to Virginia on a motorcycle and met President Truman. I think there was a period someplace in there. But when I first read it, I said, first of all, traveling to Virginia on a motorcycle is pretty neat. And then you met President Truman on that trip? You know, wow. But that's Donna Bosley Hartman. What? 2 separate trips. Oh.
Which one did you meet here?
Which one did... Hey, you don't have a microphone.
There's a new movie, When Harry Met Donna.
I went back and read it a little closer, and I understood what you said. What you meant.
Next, I worked for the Hill Country. I'm sorry. I worked for the Hill Country ISD Special Ed Co-op for 33 years. Have ridden in a hot air balloon and have traveled to the Holy Land. Patsy Kuehler Henrich.
Is Patsy here? Hey, how you doing? Annabelle Emhoff Osler. I don't think she made it, did she?
Yes.
But Annabelle has, one of the things she has done in her spare time is to get involved apparently in some drama productions, and she has sang and danced in what she calls 5 red stocking reviews, and I just let my mind roam on that. So I can imagine on top of bar tops and stuff like that. But red, I'm sure it's probably not that way. But sounds like a lot of fun.
Sounds like a depraved Aggie to me. But anyway, the next one.
What? A depraved Aggie.
Or deprived. Next, I'm a preacher in a small church in Gonzales. Love to hunt coons. That's David Jackson.
David's not here. And the next person, Elam Skull, and again, I same as Donna, when I read these things, I guess I just read what I wanted to read into it. They said that I spent 1 week in the villa where the Pope spends his summers. And I read that as he spends 1 week with the Pope in the villa where he spends his summers. Well, it turns out that they just happen to be there at separate times. But he also does some sailing and has done sailing over in Croatia for 3 weeks at a time. And that just sounds like a whole lot of fun. But Elam Skull. And Elam couldn't be here. He had commitments that he had to satisfy that were made ahead of time. So sorry that Elam couldn't be here.
Next, I have been to dinner at the White House. That's not in Seguin. 5 times. Have even spilled wine on the president. Now my question is, was it the 5th time you spilled the wine on the president, or was it before, or did you go back? Anyway, that's Bertie Bloomberg Kimple.
You gotta get a visual of this. First of all, Bertie at the White House.
She didn't waste a drop.
Wow. And then going, oops, on Mr. President.
Which president?
No, it was President George Bush, Jr., W. But I wish I would have been there to see that.
They probably have dogs for this spillage.
Robert Lovell, Bobby Lovell. I went to school with him at St. Joseph's many, many years ago. Happy to see him here. Bobby also loved cycling and sailing, or skiing rather. I'm assuming that's snow skiing, living in Utah. And he also does some traveling. He said he once filled up a passport completely. And he's been living in Utah for about 30 years. Lawyer work? Lawyer work. Good. If you're ever in Utah and have a problem, see Bobby.
I guess the question is, what do you fill up the passport with? Never mind. The next one. Love to play golf and have been known to hustle other players. Oh, gee, what a guess. Ronnie Foreman.
And I hear Ronnie is way ahead. But Linda, who, you know, God bless you, Linda. 50 years, 49 years. That's a long time putting up with him. But Linda and Ronnie have been married ever since they got out of high school, and she's been both in Seguin, and she's been working or has worked for the independent school district here in Seguin. And again, living with Ronnie for that long, gosh.
Is there a Medal of Honor for that kind of thing?
There should be.
Next, have surprised many people not knowing my first name is Juan. Have been a track coach, nickname is Manny, but most of my life. Manuel Martinez.
And I may have made a mistake on that. That's not a track coach completely, it's a wrestling coach, right? And I thought I was doing a good job. I looked all over Texas for Manuel and couldn't find him until I hit on something that told me that it may have been Juan. How many people here know or knew that his name was Juan? If you were looking for him, would you look in the telephone book under Juan or Manuel? The secrets we carry.
It takes Juan to know Juan.
Manuel spent a lot of time in Dallas, by the way, also as a coach. We have one of our guys here to thank for marrying a couple who is also here. Billy and Judy Vogt were married by our own Ted Bosworth. And Ted, this is amazing. Ted is a minister, and that's not amazing because he's a great guy and probably. Did that come out right? Probably should really be in that field. The amazing thing is that he's an Aggie and became a minister. That's the amazing thing. Wow. And you didn't even have to say that.
I don't want to hear a remark about that. Next. I bred and raised quarter horses for 20 years, and the rest of the entry, which I read on his original submission, that he only used 3 stallions to do that. And my reaction was, poor stallions.
Oh, wow.
Are lucky.
Oh, lucky.
That was Robert Cockrell.
Is Robert here? Robert and Mickey? They said that they were going to be here too. Sorry they couldn't make it. The next person has, and this is kind of a neat thing to do. I mean, everybody needs a goal, a specific goal in life, and Sylvia Weldon's goal is to find and climb lighthouses, and she's climbed to the top of the 2 tallest lighthouses in the U.S. So I don't know how long did that take? Where's Sylvia? Take a long time? Her answer was.
Was she climbing on the outside, Lord?
What's that?
Was she climbing on the outside?
I don't know. I'm assuming not.
She was rappelling. Okay. Next. I have been around the world as a Pan Am flight attendant. That should be no guess. Judy Spurrier. Coffee, tea, or me?
Yeah. The next person has traveled to 49 states, climbed the Swiss Alps, and climbed Mount St. Helens and Mount Rainier in Washington. The thing I want to know, Elizabeth, is what state did you miss? Hawaii. All right.
It's hard to drive there. My question is, did you climb Mount St. Helens before or after? Next, I love searching beaches with my metal detector. That would be Barbara Cadell Lucas.
Yeah, Barbara's here. I saw her come in a while ago. Yeah, there she is, way in the back. One other person that's not here, but one of the distinguished people that was in our class and who got a doctoral degree was Barbara Gates Sorrell. She got a PhD from the University of Texas.
Yes.
One of the people that was a high achiever.
Like us.
Like part of us.
Well, this is
half of us. This half.
Never mind.
Over here.
This shows some German heritage, which a lot of us have. I play skat, a German card game. Skat.
How do you spell that?
Oh,
K-H.
I was thinking of something else.
A-T?
Scott. I was
K-H-A-T.
No, S-K-A-T.
I'm sorry, S-K-A-T. And it's spelled, pronounced.
Must be a long A. Okay, fine.
I'm sorry. Okay.
In addition
what
to
was that?
May I go on?
No. I wanted to get to the bottom of this.
You don't want to, if that's the way I pronounce it. Anyway, I was one of the first 5 women in an all-male university, and I was struck by lightning.
Whoa.
Which one's worse? That's Pat Bainig.
Yeah, whenever I come back to Seguin, I have to change my name from Bob to Robert. And this guy, I didn't know him as Smokey. Matter of fact, I wasn't sure who he was. Ignacio Smokey Villarreal. He played baseball, and actually is kind of a sports advocate. He's played baseball with 2 Major League Baseballs, and could be Hall of Fame baseball players. Smokey Villarreal.
I might add that his dad was named Smokey as well, and he should be Smokey Jr. Next.
Who were the 2 guys?
Freddie Pate.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Charlie Hartenstein.
Yeah. Charlie and Freddie Patek, probably. Yeah. Where's Larry? Are we in trouble? I noticed it's 6:30. Are we okay? We got to go fast.
Robert,
okay.
speed it up now.
All right. I got a story. Talking about Freddie Patek. Freddie made a comment one time. Y'all all know Freddie. He played Major League Baseball for many, many years. Somebody asked him, how does it feel to be the smallest player in the major leagues? His comment was, it's better than being the smallest player in the minor leagues.
Next, I won a contest with airfare to fly to any state in the United States and also won $1,000 at a bingo parlor. That's Betty Towns Ferguson. I don't think she's here.
No, she's not. Johnny Weir, and boy, this is a dangerous thing. Johnny lives in Arizona, and he's been selling high-powered grade rifles or guns to a lot of popular people. But in Arizona, where is that? Where Sheriff Billy Bob lives? What? You got to be careful selling things like that in Arizona.
He sold them to Dan Quayle. That's frightening.
Yeah, Tom Weiskopf and Greg Norman and Dan Quayle and John McCain's son and Robert Kiyosaki. Go.
I think it's Japanese. Anyway. Next, I slept away from home more than... Oh, I don't know how to read this. Wait a minute. I slept away from home more than at my own house.
Yeah, you got to think about that.
Oh, she's a stewardess. That's why. Betty Wildbacher Ellis.
The next person is Judy Engler's staff. And I had the same problem with a couple other ones. I read what she wrote. I said, you got to be kidding. You can't do that. She said, I run marathons around the world, including the North Pole. I said, my God, that's a long way to run a marathon. And it turns out there's multiple marathons that she ran, but I thought it was one continuous marathon at one time.
Well, not if a polar bear is chasing you. It's easy. Next. I hold a private plane license and a concealed handgun. That sounds like a bad combination. And I'm a Christian therapist. Penny Nesloni Lisa.
Patricia Bohuslav, I think she's here. She has also traveled to 49 of the 50 states. Which one did you miss? North Dakota? That's so easy. You know, I figured it was probably Hawaii or Alaska, but gosh. Anyway, Patricia was in the Navy for many years, served on a hospital ship in Vietnam, and she also got extremely hurt in a snow skiing accident, and kind of, as she said, and I'm reading what was on the card, broke my face. Yikes.
We do that quite often, actually. She also survived the earthquake in 1994 in California, the northward.
I'm happy to hear that.
Okay, the next. I live near the Blue Ridge Mountains, have traveled to 20 countries and taught in Papua New Guinea. Mary Dolnick Short.
Yeah, Mary's one of the ones that traveled a long distance to be here. Happy to see her. Harris Lenowitz.
Who's that?
You know, Harris, for y'all that don't know it, Harris will be signing his new books over here at the registration table later. You know, if y'all want a book. I think he's writing one right now saying Harris Lenowitz, the Messiah, or it was something like that. I'm not sure. But Harris has had a fantastic career. He's a professor emeritus at the University of Tulsa. What? Yeah, I'm sorry, not Tulsa. Yeah, gosh, it says it right here too. I can't. Come on up here. I'm sorry, but anyway, he's traveled extensively, and sometimes if you want something to do that's going to take a long time, Google Harris Lenowitz and find out everything he's done. It's fantastic. Applaud you, bud.
Nice hat, too. Anyway. Next. I have been an office nurse, home health nurse, and a preschool teacher, and she's also my cousin. Sherry Traeger Isbell.
Sherry is also the only person in high school that could beat me in tennis. Fred Schrader. Gosh, if there's anybody that should be, along with Bobby Jacoby, both those guys ought to be on top of a wedding cake. I mean, they're handsome, just great-looking guys. But anyway, Fred has been inducted into the Texas Band Masters Hall of Fame, if you don't know that. And he's had a fantastic career. So, you know, need to check with Fred on that and ask him how in the world he did that.
Next, have worked in the gas and oil industry for over 40 years and courageously am a cancer survivor. That'll be our buddy John Cleveland.
You know, when we were in school, I always wanted to be like John. I don't know what it was. He was kind of just somebody that I always wanted to be like.
What, arrogant?
He's just kind of always a neat guy. And this guy...
But a good sport.
Yeah, this guy, when I sent out information, apparently he thought he was applying for my job, which if he wanted it, he could have it. But he sent me a resume that said everything that he had ever done throughout his whole career in high school and college, 5 or 6 pages of stuff. Just, it's amazing. And he ended up by saying that he was the keeper of Reveille 7. Paul Gardner. Love you, Paul.
Dog catcher. Next, I hold season tickets for the University of Texas. I have been married 3 times, each to a lady whose first name starts with a J. That'd be Billy Boat.
Ann Wilman Earhart, and she was one of the first, or she was the first lady in Sulphur Springs to head up the United Way campaign in Sulphur Springs. But one of the other things that we got to give credit to Ann for is she's put up with Larry for so many years. I think she's on her way to sainthood, and just amazing.
Saint Anne. Did you take swimming lessons from before Madeline? Oh, that's probably a good thing. Next, I'm a solid pillar in my community. Get ready for the rest of it. Seeing eye to eye with most small people. And I'm helping my wife to attain sainthood for being married to me. Larry Wellman.
Tommy Newman is in here someplace, and happy to see Tommy. Tommy said that he had dealt Jack Black. Jack Black? You know, in just a second. It only gets better. He's dealt Black Jack to Elvis Presley, James Brown, Elizabeth Taylor. Well, big deal, Tommy. You know, give us some names of people that we can go verify this with. You picked 3 dead people. You know, we don't believe that. You know,
well, we would like him thinking very much.
Yeah, I once sang a duo with Elvis Presley.
He probably led.
Anybody believe that? Go check. Yeah, he's dead. Okay, go ahead.
My partner and I won first place in our flight during our first golf tournament. That would be Patricia Haney Moreland.
Oh, this next person got to me when she replied what she was doing, and I was always very concerned about some people being president of the world, you know, Danny Bates, and you know, other people, you know, not really doing a whole lot. And I was always concerned about this. And this lady said, you know, that she just led a very quiet life and didn't do much, but she's been taking care of her disabled veteran husband. And I said, oh my God, I don't know what it was, but she got to me that day, and she needs to be applauded. It's Bessie Renell Martin.
This next one is a very abbreviated form of what he sent in, but we all know his posture in the community. I married my high school sweetheart and am president of Southwest Research Institute. Danny Bates.
Doug Heinemeyer, who's not here tonight, said that he's been working as an accounting manager at IBM for most of his working career, and that had to be a lot of fun. I spent a few years working against IBM.
Next, Seguin's newest school was named after my mother, Yolanda Rodriguez Lopez.
I got on an email list. I'm not sure how I did. I got on an email list from Yolanda, and I have a joke. We're running out of time, and I won't even be able to tell it. But if maybe after 10 o'clock, no, this is a good joke. But I'll share it with you later. Sharon Dillard Guthrie. She only spent a few years with us, but she's been living in Bowling Green. Has taken the garden tour there many times and is working with the Bowling Green Independent School District. And really happy to see Sharon.
Next, this is an interesting story. Shows dedication and perseverance. 2 days after graduation from high school, I went to barber school and passed the state barber exam. I worked my way through Baylor as a barber, eventually became a Baptist chaplain. Bobby Jacoby.
Gloria Alvis Jones. God bless her. I gave her some stuff to do for the reunion, and it's trying to put together a brochure that all of y'all are going to be involved in or listed in. If you haven't filled out an information sheet, over there on the desk is an information sheet we need to fill out and make her life a little easier. She's got a fantastic task ahead of her that's putting pictures together and writing stories, along with Bobby Ermos helping her out. But Gloria spent a lot of time working for Dell Industries in Round Rock. And also drives limousines, or used to drive limousines in her spare time, to include some people from Willie Nelson's band.
She probably had the windows rolled down for that one. Started out as a salesman and ended up as president of my company. Have hunted at the Jicarilla Apache Reservation, New Mexico for more than 35 years. Jimmy Schubert.
Okay, I'm going to zip down through some of these because we're running just a little late.
Everyone's hungry.
Yeah. Nancy Nichols Zunker. She says she planted a small American flag in the Swiss Alps. Hopefully that's not considered littering, but yeah, way to go.
Hopefully it wasn't over the Iceman and discovered.
Yeah. Let me just kind of skip down through. Did Marcia Myers,
no.
Harrison make it?
No.
She doesn't get mentioned.
Smokey.
Faylene Schultz Mills, she's here, and she says that I'm going to find out more about this. She says she won a marble championship in McQueenie. Wait, was that recently? Years ago, okay, and I'm going to finish up with one that's just unbelievable. I'm gonna read it, and actually, if you did the trivia, you know the answer. But this lady says she hunted crocodiles on the Amazon River and traded trinkets with the natives, trinkets and animal skins. Kathy Keene Saugaville. Right. Man, there's a lot of people that I would have put in there before Kathy. Way to go, Kathy. In hunting crocodiles, did you find any? Did you catch any? Yes. Yeah. Oh, yes. Okay. All right. Well, hopefully y'all found that a little fun and a little humorous. We ran a little long, but the next thing we're going to do is eat. You want to do that? Okay. We're going to first say a quick prayer, blessing for the food, and then we're going to eat. And I'm assuming it's where is it? Back there in the house. I can't see the food. Oh, it's right there. Okay. Okay. A special request from Reverend Willman that he would say the blessing. This is like, you want to stand on a chair?
Before I go with prayer, let's pray just a second. We're going to do the serving a little bit differently. I'll describe it right after. Okay. We're going to direct the serving of the meal. We're going to go a couple of tables at a time. I'd like the tables with the guests. Adam first. We're going to serve the salad.
You're going to go to the salad bar.
Go to the salad bar, get a salad, come back to your table.
Eat your salad.
Eat your salad, and we're going to go back to the...
And then once you're through with your salad, then you go to the other room and get your meal.
Okay.
Somebody will pick up your salad plate.
All right. You got that...
there's a tea station over there. Get your glass of tea, a fresh glass of tea, things like that.
Okay. All right. We're going to have a quick prayer. Is everybody bow your heads, please? Our gracious Heavenly Father, whether we called you with the name of Lord, Lord God, Jehovah, Allah, or the Holy Trinity, we are all your children, and we're fully thankful for that. Abba Father, Abba God, we approach you tonight with honor, praising and glorifying your name, and expressing our gratitude for your unconditional love, your limitless grace and mercy, and your endless blessings. We thank you for a safe journey to this event and ask for your blessing of a safe return to our final destination. Finally, Lord, we ask that you bless this food, the nourishment of our bodies to thy service. And all those people said in unison, amen. Thank you. I'd like to say 2 tables that have guests on the first.
says, no, you can't do that. That's just not right. People will be offended. So they had to change it. So they changed it to schizos and hernias. And they said, no, you can't do that either. That's just not right. And they tried catatonics and high, I can't even pronounce it, colonoscopies. They said, no, you can't do that. And they went to manic depressant and anal retention. Couldn't do that. They kept going. Minds and behinds. Couldn't do that. Lost souls, and I'm not going to say what the other one was. But nuts and bolts was an option. This is a psychiatrist and a proctologist. Freaks and cheeks. That didn't go over. Loons and moons. That didn't go over. And finally they came up with one that everybody accepted, and it was Dr. Smith and Jones, odds and ends. Cute joke. I know that Roy and Bobby, if you don't know about it, they had a rough night last night with their mom, so hopefully everything's okay with that. Smokey Turner Taylor. Interesting thing, she climbed out of the Royal Gorge Canyon after a tram broke down about 3/4 of the way down. How would you like to be in that position, to have to climb out of that? Someone that married their high school sweetheart and has spent the rest of her years just playing bridge and playing tennis. Her whole life. That's all she does. Rumor has it, though, that she's also been known to get on a tractor and ride around in their ranch. Ruth Benzinger Bates.
She loves his John Deere.
This is an amazing one as well. Jan Fikes Hahn. After 67 years, she finally wrote and published 2 novels at 67. She said she finally got the respects of her kids. But Jan Fikes wrote 2 books, got them published at the age of 67. Mary Gloria Leal Sanchez. She got enough courage. Matter of fact, there she is. She's standing up as we speak. She got enough courage after 67 years to take her first airplane ride. Ended up in Canada, I think. I think that takes care of all the people that were here. Again, I sincerely hope that y'all are enjoying the evening. Hope you enjoy the meal. There's going to be a band playing in about 5 or 10 minutes, and then they'll play for a couple of hours, and then we'll still be here. That'll end about 10, and then we'll still be here until 11.
Al Bryan was playing the competition. He was playing the accomplished musician.
Yeah, I've been. I know where it is. Don't blink, but you know where it is. There's a 35.
Well, I know it's kind of fun when guys keep up with all that stuff. I just remember it nice. They keep it warm. Yeah. But I never.
2 seniors at Marion High School. That's a big collection.
Emma Jane, don't hide your face.
I did not want to be on video. I did not want to be on any webpage. She looks good to her. Smile, you're on camera.
Hi, John. How we doing, John? Hi, John. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Imogene was trying to hide her face, but I got her.
Yeah, we've been over there about 5 years ago. Right. I haven't seen her talk to her since the last.
So there were no ropes.
You know what I get a kick out of doing is going out and watching life games. What is that, 6-man or 8-man football?
But it wasn't
Next day. And now that I'm by myself, so I don't eat nearly as well. Because at that time, I knew it was a balanced diet. I made sure, you had this many vegetables, you had. But I look in the refrigerator and say, now what is in here that I just put together that requires no effort? Zing, zing. He was good. Zing, zing. He was good.
Something I definitely couldn't have done 50 years ago.
Yeah, hey, Roland.
We're all going to be on Facebook now. I know. We're going to be on.
Oh, wow.
Been to the camp, saw the little room and the paper leaves off. My mother had a convertible. Man, that's crazy. I'm telling somebody. I don't know. Maybe.
What do you want?
Well, you're on YouTube.
Oh, God. Okay, John, where is this going to be? YouTube?
YouTube.
YouTube, okay. And are you gonna put it on Facebook too?
I'll put a link on it.
Okay.
We won't maybe not know your names, but you'll be part of our experience.
We are collectively.
I was in 7th grade. I don't think so. I'm telling you, this show.
I was in the movie with courage this morning. And that's another
Everybody in the picture that and then we'll just take the class picture.
okay.
I'm leaving. Well, I'm glad you were hiding my face.
You know I can't smile with
Hey, yeah. Okay. St. Joseph's. Hey.
all of them.
Okay. Who else?
So it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my whole life to fall in love with you. We'll all be gone with the sun. We're off to find a state. Take